What's going on, everybody? Chris Grant here, and in this video we're going to be talking about your keepa settings. Now, the reason I want to go over settings first is because once you get these right, you really don't have to change them ever or very often. And there are some features that you can activate in the settings area that a lot of people don't know about or have trouble with down the road. So let's talk about where to find your keepa settings. You're going to want to go to an Amazon product detail page. I'm pulling up this Kiehl's item here. And we come down, and if you have the keepa extension installed, which will be right up here, it looks like a little maybe cross or iron cross or reticle, or not exactly sure what their logo is, but if you have it up here, you're going to see on a product detail page, you should see something like this. It may not have everything, so you may just see one graph here, but you may also see three. It just depends. And we'll talk about how to open those up here a little bit later on once we go through the price history and things like that. But the biggest thing you should see is you should see settings. And you want to go to your settings here. And there's a lot of information here. So the graphs to show. You can choose what graphs you want to show up. Do you want Amazon to show up if they're in stock? Do you want new items to show up if they're in stock? And do you want used items to show up if they're in stock? Right now, it's set to all three, but I don't care for used items. I don't sell used items, and I'm not really interested in used items price. Now, if you're selling used video games or used books or used DVDs or something like that, you're probably going to want to have that turned on, but I'm really going to be speaking mostly to folks who are selling new items on Amazon in these videos. Okay, so I'm going to have Amazon and new turned on. Now, the date range. Do you want 1 day, a week, a month, 3 months, a year, or all? I personally like 3 months. I think that gives us a good amount of data to be able to look at and kind of catch a trend. And then it's also very easy to change between these dates. And we'll talk about that in another video as well. I have the close-up view turned on. I have not really seen much of a difference between having this turned on and turned off, so I just leave mine turned on. I filter extreme values. Again, this is something I haven't really seen much of a difference, but every now and again, there might be some very weird outlier on a keepa graph that is extreme, and maybe it's a mistake or something like that. And I just don't want to see those because typically they're just wrong. So I do have filter extreme values on. Now, the tooltip date format. I'm in the US, so of course I have mine set to something a little bit more US-like, Wednesday, October 19, 1056, or you can choose any of these other date timestamps you like. In the tracking settings, I have mine turned to Pro. This is something that's for the paid users only, but Pro offers a lot more information to be able to track by. We can track up and down on prices, up and down on sales ranks, up and down on number of sellers, and all kinds of things. So I like to have mine set to Pro. And we'll talk about how to use that a little bit later on in this course. My desired price reduction preset, I have mine set to 5% because I always go in and manually set what price reduction I'm going to track on my tracking settings. Merchants to pre-fill with desired prices. So I have mine set in here for Amazon. Honestly, I don't exactly know what this does, but I just go ahead and just leave Amazon on, leave the other ones off because I've never used this particular feature. Merchants to pre-fill with desired prices. I know exactly what that is. When you're in the tracking section, this 5% will apply to Amazon only. Maybe you want to track new prices. Maybe you want to track used prices. You could turn these on, and now it'll automatically preset the discount of 5% on Amazon and new in the tracking settings. Apologize. Had a little brain malfunction there. You can track an item for 2 weeks, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2, 3, and 10. I just leave mine at a year. After a year, if I haven't bought an item, I want it to fall out of my tracking. I can get notified via email for upcoming lightning deals for tracked products up to 24 hours in advance. I turned that off. I don't particularly care for it. I can't do Amazon to Amazon flips with lightning deals. I might turn this back on if I were tracking a lot of items for personal purchases, but I'm not. These are really for Amazon to Amazon flips. Get notified once a lightning deal for a tracked product has started. I have that turned off as well. You could turn it on if you're tracking items for personal purchases, because you could use Prime lightning deal privileges for those kinds of items. I have my alert rearm timer. It should be set to 1 day, not 2. Not sure how that got changed, but I want it set to 1 day. You could also have it set to never if you want to. If you click on this little button right there, you can see that it'll take you to the continuous tracking rearm timer, where you can learn a little bit more about it here, okay? Let's see. Amazon Smile, I have that turned off. You could turn that on if you wanted to. Amazon Smile is a program where Amazon will donate a portion of your purchase to charity. And if you click yes for this, it'll automatically take you to an Amazon Smile link when you open up these items. So if you buy them, Amazon will end up giving a portion of the proceeds to a charity of your choice. Now, in the add-on settings, you can choose your language. I have mine set to English. I can also set up currency conversion if I want to. I'm not really worried about that. I don't do any cross-border sales or anything like that. Now, my Keepa box vertical size. This is the up and down, so verticals up and down. I have mine set to 200 pixels, and that seems to be pretty good for me. If you needed it to be larger for one reason or another, you can go between 170 pixels up to 500 pixels, and I've just found that 200 works, but you can play with that any which way you want. The Keepa box horizontal size, I have mine set to dynamic. Now, what this means is that Keepa will figure out what size is best for the Keepa graph, and it will show it in different sizes depending on what page you're on. I have had it on full window width in the past, and every now and again it seems to mess up a little bit more frequently, so I allow Keepa to figure out how wide my Keepa graph should be. My default view is a Keepa box. That is the graph that you saw earlier. You could also turn the button on, but that means that every time you come to a product detail page, you'll actually have to click this little Keepa button to open up the Keepa graphs to be able to look over that. You can also show price history graphs as overlays when hovering Amazon products. You want this turned on, yes, and you'll need to set this up. So it'll tell you in the graphs to show, I want Amazon new, I don't need used, sales rank, I want that. I don't worry about do third-party FBM. I'm not worried about lightning deals or warehouse deals, and I want to see the buy box, and the range for me should be 90 days, okay? 90 days. I'm going to save these settings. Now, what is that exactly? Well, what that is if we come over to Amazon here and we search mashed potatoes again, what we can do is we can hover over the some of these products, and we will see, not sure why it's not doing it right now, but I may need to refresh. But we'll see, there we go. We've got a Keepa graph down at the bottom right. And this one doesn't look like it has anything but sales rank available on it, but some of the other ones will have more information. There we go. We've got Amazon, we've got sales rank, we've got the buy box price, and it shows me over the last 90 days, all right? So make sure that you have that set up properly. Display stock quantity on offer listing pages. I have this set to yes, and you have to remember that this only works in Chrome, Firefox, and Edge. And what this is if we come up here and open this, the sellers up right here, we'll see a little stock button right here. And it says 2, revealed by Keepa. This one has 5 in stock. This one has 4 in stock. So they will try to give us the stock that each seller has available. You can also show the max order limit next to the stock quantity. I have that turned on to yes. So they'll try to give us exactly how much stock quantity someone has. And if there's a max order limit, they'll try to tell us that as well. This is not 100% perfect, but it is nice to be able to see. Now, the last thing is allow the add-on to gather Amazon prices to improve our price data. Always turn that to yes. Now, the reason you want that turned on to yes is that while you're sourcing, you want Keepa to be able to use your Chrome extension to scrape data and report it back to Keepa. This makes the information better for you, makes it better for other people using Keepa, and it just all around offers more data points for Keepa to be able to have better information. And better information is good for all of us. So we always want to make sure to have that turned on. And that's all there is to the settings. They're not incredibly difficult, but a lot of people get stuck on these and they aren't exactly sure how to have them set up. You can change these any way that you want. This is just the way that I like to have mine set up so that everything looks really, really nice and I have all the data at my fingertips while I'm going through my Keepa graphs. Now, in the next video, we're going to start talking about the price history section. We're going to go through each one of these separately, and we're going to talk about a ton of things that you should know and understand about every single one of these items so you can make sure you're reading the information properly. And we'll have several videos on this section, and then we'll go through the track products and data sections and all of that next. So get your settings all set up, and I will see you guys in the next video.